Yes guys, and welcome back to the channel. So over the last day, there's been lots of trade news for lots of different teams. My last video was about Chris Paul going to the Suns, so we're not going to mention him. But there's been a lot more trade news over the last 24 hours. So let's get right into it. The first big trade is Jrue Holiday going from the New Orleans Pelicans to the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Pelicans are going to get Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, 3 first round picks, and 2 future draft picks. So the Bucks are giving up a lot. They're going all in, hopefully that Giannis re-signs with them. But if he doesn't re-sign with them, they're pretty screwed. They're giving up a lot of draft picks there. And George Hill had a pretty good season last year. But if Giannis stays and they're starting 5 next year, they're going to look pretty good with Jrue Holiday, and they're still to sign another person we'll get onto in a minute. So I think overall the Bucks probably won this trade. It's a pretty good trade, for both sides. They're both can be happy enough. Jrue Holiday, a very good player, probably playing point guard for them. Let's get into some of Jrue Holiday's stats anyway. He got 19.1 points, 4.8 rebounds, and averaged 6.7 assists last season, shooting 45.5% from the field, 35.3% from 3, and 70.9% from the free throw line. And he's only just gone 30 years old, so they still got another 3 or maybe 4 years of prime Jrue Holiday. So a very good player Jrue Holiday is. So a good player for the Bucks. They're going to be much stronger next year. But that also means, as a Laker fan, Rondo can't go to the Bucks now. The Suns, Chris Paul went to the Suns, and so he was probably the #1 option for the Bucks. And Holiday's gone to the Bucks now. So Rondo, as a Laker fan, hopefully now it's just the Clippers. We'll get into Rondo later. But anyway, also the Milwaukee Bucks. They did a lot of business last night. They signed Bogdan Bogdanovic, joining on a sign-in trade from the Sacramento Kings. This guy is a bucket. He can stretch the floor for the Bucks, and that's what the Bucks need. When they got someone like Giannis, who's his best strength is driving to the rim, getting that bucket, going to the free throw line. Giannis, as I said, someone like him, you need to space the floor. You need to surround him with shooters. Chris Middleton, a shooter. Jrue Holiday, 35.3% from 3, shooter. Brook Lopez, a shooter. And now Bogdan Bogdanovic, he shot 37.2% from 3 last year, 44% from the field, and 74% from the free throw line, averaging 15.1 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 3.4 assists. And he's only 28 years old. So a very good deal for the Bucks. As I said, they're going all in trying to keep Giannis. Hopefully he'll sign that supermax contract with them. So fair fucks to the Bucks. They're doing all they can to keep Giannis. They're going all in, as I said. So these trades, as I said, they might help keep Giannis. They got a great starting 5 now. They got Jrue Holiday, the point guard, Bogdan Bogdanovic, shooting guard, Chris Middleton as a small forward, Giannis as the power forward, and if they can keep Brook Lopez, he'll be their centre. They got a great starting 5, strong starting 5. They'll be much better than they were last year. So Giannis, he's going to have a decision to make. Teams like the Warriors and the Heat interested in him, probably lots more. But you never know. If things don't go well this season, he might just say, I'm out here, and these trades will be for nothing. But the Bucks, at least, they said they've given it their all. They're going all in with him. So as I said, they have a very strong starting lineup. So I expect to see a lot from the Bucks next year. A big step up, and if you're a Bucks fan, hopefully Giannis can stay, because we can get no big free agents when you're in Milwaukee, especially if Giannis leaves. You gotta hope for that he comes through the draft, just like Giannis did. Anyway, another trade that happened last night was Robert Covington. He's been traded from the Houston Rockets to the Portland Trail Blazers. The Rockets will receive Trevor Ariza plus the number 16 pick in this year's draft and the 2021 first round pick. Robert Covington, we've been looking at the stats. As a Laker fan, I watched the whole Houston series and I was very impressed with Robert Covington. So this is a good trade for the Blazers. They need more players, they need more depth. I don't know if he'll be starting or not. It depends what they do in this off season, but a good player to have, very good, useful player to have. Anyway, he averaged 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 1.3 assists last year with the Rockets, shooting 42.2% from the field, 33.5% from 3, and 79.8% from the free throw line. So Robert Covington, a great deal for the Portland Trail Blazers. And as for the Houston Rockets, Trevor Ariza getting on a bit now, but I like Trevor Ariza, so I think he already played for Houston as well, so he's coming back. We'll see what they do with him and the number 16 pick, and also a future first round pick. Now, the next bit of news, it ain't no trade, but it's big rumours. It's about James Harden. Last night, Woj said that James Harden has declined an extension that would have made him the first $50 million player a year player ever. He's also made it clear to Houston ownership that he's focused on being traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Wow, that is big trade news. You know, most people thought he'd just stick with Houston, you know, he's a Houston man at this stage. Stick with them. Westbrook was handed in a trade last week, so we all thought maybe he might stay. But looks like they're going to blow the whole thing up in Houston, start from scratch. James Harden, declining his $50 million extension. It's a lot of money. As I said, first ever player to would have made $50 million a year. That's a lot of money. But he's turned it down. He wants to go to Brooklyn. There's also Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Heat on his list. But number one seems to be Brooklyn. And boy, God, as a Laker fan, you know, seeing James Harden, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant together, you know, it's a scary look. But, you know, as a Laker, I'm not going to start hating, you know. I wanted AD, Kawhi and LeBron, you know, so I can't say look at them now. So I'm you know, if Brooklyn get this done, fair fucks to them. The trade would be LeVert, Prince, Jared Allen and Spencer Dinwiddie. There's Karis LeVert as well. So, you know, probably plus some future picks as well. But they're the main players. Now, the only thing for a Brooklyn Net fan, you're never going to turn this trade down, I don't think. But that you're giving up all your depth off the bench, you know. Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen especially, great players, you know. They're giving up a lot of depth. So will it be worth it? Now, as a Laker fan, I'm going to look at how this mightn't work out for the Brooklyn Nets, honestly, you know. So, you know, the potential issues of this trade is Kyrie Irving and James Harden. They both want the ball in their hands all the time, you know, going up the court. How is this going to work, you know? Are you going to get along? Kevin Durant's a scorer, James Harden's a scorer. Yes, they play together in OKC, but James Harden was usually a sub coming on. You know, who's gonna be the scorer in the clutch when it comes to that? Harden's been used to that ever since he left OKC. He's been the main man. You know, Russell Westbrook didn't rejoin. He joined Houston Rockets last season, you know, to play with James Harden, his former teammate. And James Harden wants to join the Nets, you know, to come back, get back playing with KD. So, you know, and Westbrook now, he was always the main man with OKC once the Harden and KD left. So he wants to be that person again. That's why he demanded a trade from Houston. Now, will it be the same for James Harden and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? Will they get it wrong? What will the chemistry be like? You know, who's going to be taking the shots? Who's going to be bringing the ball up the court? You know, a lot of questions there. If it works, they're straight into the finals anyway, right out east. Milwaukee, all those trades you make, get out of here. You're not getting anywhere near Miami. Get out of here. You're not getting near it. Any other team on throw me, Boston, get out of here. You know, you ain't getting nowhere near it. If they pull James Harden off, even if it doesn't work, I don't see it. I don't see them not getting to the NBA Finals, even with James Harden. They're probably Lakers Nets Finals, hopefully. As a Laker fan, I know it's not going to be easy. James Harden, head scoring, and you know he's not as bad at the defensive end, you would say, but you know you wouldn't want him locking up any players in the clutch anyway, for sure. But anyway, we'll wait and see what happens to that trade. James Harden has demanded a trade, turned down his extension, wants to go to Brooklyn, wants to play with KD, and they also have Kyrie Irving. So, you know, a lot of talent on that team. But hey, we'll wait and see on that. Now, on to my Lakers. What news has happened around them over the last 24 hours? But first of all, A.B. Bradley. The Warriors and the Bucks were interested in him, you know, but and get that Chris Haynes said that. But with the Milwaukee Bucks getting Jrue Holiday and Bogdan Bogdanovic, I'm pretty sure we can rule them out of getting A.B. Bradley. And if A.B. Bradley is expected to turn down his $5 million player option, you know, he got a new agent, you know, a couple of days ago. So most people expected this. As a Laker fan, I think we should definitely try and keep this guy, especially if Rondo goes. We gotta keep some players. He'll lock down the defense. A.B. Bradley he can shoot the tree well enough for teams to keep an eye on him. So, you know, and as I said, a real dog on the defensive end. I'll do as much as I can try and keep Avery with the Lakers. You know, we can't make any guarantees, I suppose, at the end of the day. And the Warriors interested, you know, that'll be a big loss for the Lakers. But let's wait and see, you know. He mightn't leave. You know, the Bucks we can rule them out, so whatever team wants to go from can go from, I suppose. When you see KCP, as expected, has turned down his player option as well. This was expected, you know, nothing new here. But, you know, there's some stuff, I don't know how reliable Zach Lowe is, but he said KCP re-signing the Lakers is a foregone conclusion. Now, what does this mean? You know, if KCP rejoins, I don't know. You know, depends on how much money we're going to give him, but KCP was one of the players I didn't mind letting go if we had to. You know, I wanted to keep Rondo. I assumed we'd keep Avery Bradley. Now that we're not, I want to keep him. Markieff Morris, I wanted to keep. Dwight Howard. There's a lot of players who want to keep KCP. If I had to let one go, I would have said to let him go. But now, you know, the Lakers, they just signed Dennis Schroeder, as I said, as we made a video about that a couple of days ago. Dennis Schroeder's in, Danny Green's out. You know, I don't know how this is going to work. KCP, it probably was at the DeMar DeRozan deal anyway. And just on DeMar DeRozan, he opted into his $27 million player option. Now, there's still a chance he could leave. A bit high chance he could still leave San Antonio, but there's still a chance he could leave to the Lakers. You know, it's going to take a lot to get the contracts right, but KCP, you know, they could sign a sign-in trade here with KCP. Because I wanted DeRozan, to be fair, I'm not going to lie, but you can see in a video made about DeRozan actually 4 or 5 days ago now. I wanted DeMar DeRozan, but it looks like it's not going to happen to the Lakers. As for KCP, you know, if we could keep him, I would have definitely kept him. He's a very useful player, good in the defense, shot the three well in the playoffs. So if we keep him, great, you know. But I don't want to be losing Avery Bradley and Rajon Rondo. Schroeder was a great signing, but I don't want to be losing the two of them. And Markieff Morris and Dwight Howard. We got to be keeping at least 2 to 4, if not 3. You know, they're great players for us to have last year. And other news on the Lakers, you know, Rondo, he also opted out of his contract as expected, his $2.6 million player option. That was expected. We knew that probably almost like the day after they won the championship. No new news there. With the Clippers and Hawks interested, if he goes to the Hawks, you know, it's for the money. You know, he's got his 2 championships now, I suppose. He doesn't need anything more. He's probably going to go down as a Hall of Famer at this stage. Definitely for my eyes, he would. As for the Clippers, he's exactly what they need. They need a leader, they need a ball handler, playmaker. Schroeder, with an upgrade on Rondo would still be a sub, man. He'll be our backup point guard. But for the Clippers, it'd be a great sign. And from the Lakers, I do as much as I can try and keep him. But that's how we got Schroeder, man. If the Clippers go full on and say, here's our full mid-level exception to Rondo, let him go. He's 33, 34, maybe even 35 soon, I don't know. So you let him go. We have Dennis Schroeder, great player, great sign, great trade from Rob Pelinka and the boys. So, you know, if possible to keep Rondo, I'm all for it. Let's keep Rajon Rondo. He's great last year with the Lakers. I'm expecting a lot of news over the next few days. Also, one more thing about Jrue Holiday, as a Laker point of view. The Lakers made an offer for Jrue Holiday that included Kyle Kuzma before making their move for Dennis Schroeder. So, you know, it probably would have been Kyle Kuzma, maybe even Danny Green, because they seem to be a duo for a while. But if the Lakers got Jrue Holiday, what I think about that, you know, I'm happy Dennis Schroeder, very happy Dennis Schroeder. So that's all the news for now. Make sure to subscribe. I can't force you to subscribe, but you know, please subscribe if you can. Like the video for sure. You know, even if you hate the video, just like it anyway, man. You know, support your boy. He's just trying. He's grinding out here, giving you all this news. Not even this Laker news, man. I'd report the scenes at Brooklyn and James Harden, just scaring me. And yeah, turn on notifications, man. Plenty of videos over this. It's about to get crazy, man. All these trades. You know, that's why I make all this into one video. I made a Chris Paul video today, and then bang, 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 more news. So keep your notifications on. Keep aware of what's happening. And yep, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching.